Now this thing has a power buffer. It can hold 2 billion. But let's see, how much power am I actually generating right now? I'm at 900%, 18,000 FE a tick. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more All the Mods 11. Today, we are going to be getting into the Powah mod, not Power, it's actually called Powah. And it's a very neat mod that will allow me to get various items that will help me in multiple ways. One of the ways that I really want is that it's actually gonna be a source of wireless power transfer. So I'll be able to mitigate some of my usage of integrated dynamics because it does like to break on that front a little bit, but you know, it's mostly fine with that. It's just that this way we'll be able to get more machines in other places in the future. To do all that, we first need to start with everybody's favorite thing, the orb. Now, I have done a little bit of Powah in the series already prior to this. One of the things I needed was this player transmitter to wirelessly transfer power to me. So that was able to get us some of the resources we need to start with, such as the dielectric base, the dielectric rods, and the capacitors, which means I should be mostly ready, but I need a glass of sorts. Wait, what do I have? Oh, it is just normal glass. So there's that, but now we're gonna need these dielectric rods, so we'll just go ahead and then make the sideways ones. Then we're also gonna need to take some of those and make ourselves a casing, which then gives us everybody's favorite object, the orb. But this doesn't look like an orb, does it? No. We need to make it look like an orb. And the best way to do that is to find a place to put this, because this is gonna get messy. Yeah, here's as good a place as any, but there we go. Now it looks like an orb because it's got the little glass dome on it. For us to make this thing work though, we are next going to need an energizing rod. Now the energizing rod is not complicated. We just need to take our basic capacitor and split into 2 tiny ones. Then we need to make ourselves another casing, and I believe I needed 1 more of these, so I can just go ahead and shift the rod around. And there we go. Now we got ourselves our energizing rod starter. I believe I can upgrade this also. Yes, I can. At the moment, I don't have that stuff though. So here we go. Now we got ourselves the energizing rod, but I don't have any power for this, and it just occurred to me, I might need to actually take this thing back over here because I do not have any power to connect to this over here. It does beg the question though, if I were to go ahead and then move this, will this thing be able to take in power like that? Yes, it can. Okay, so I can just connect that to there. We could put the orb down, or wait, sorry, the orb right down there, and then that should be able to work with that. So after that, we would just need to get ourselves our first ingredient in here, energized steel. This is just gonna take some iron and some gold. So now I just need to go ahead and throw these into here, and then it'll power it. It's gonna be slow at first, but the higher tier rods we get, the faster this will go. And there we go. Now we got ourselves 2 energized steel. Now, one thing to know, if I were to go ahead and grab myself 2 iron and 2 gold. So if I put in 2 iron, like this, and then 2 gold, you see it doesn't work. That is because this will only work in sets of 1. I can't stack the recipes, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but this is just the way that we're gonna have to do it if we want to get ourselves more of this. But with that, that should be enough energized steel for right now. So what we could now do with this is this would allow us to start getting some more advanced machinery if we want to start doing all that. But right now, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to upgrade our rod. Firstly, we're gonna need to get that rod up to the basic tier though. This is not hard. We just need another dielectric casing, which we had already made earlier. And then we're gonna need to make ourselves those basic capacitors I had before, which come in recipes of 4 conveniently. So I'm gonna have enough of those for a, like, second. And then we can just combine it with our previous rod and a block of quartz. And now we got ourselves our basic rod. Ooh, but I forgot, I'm charging it in my inventory. Well, I sure hope it's not daytime, or nighttime, because I only generate power in the daytime. So now to upgrade this thing to harden though, with our energized steel, what we're gonna need is we're gonna need to get ourselves these hardened capacitors. This is gonna take the energized steel that we made and a large capacitor, which is just combining 2 of the standard one. And unfortunately, this does make ourselves 2 of the hardened capacitors, which is exactly what we need to be able to give ourselves the hardened energy rod, which leads us to our next thing that we're going to need along this line. The next thing we're going to need is to put blaze rods in there to get ourselves these blazing crystals. We are actually going to need a good bit of these. So let me see though how fast one gets us right now. So let's see. That is pretty good. That's going fast. Oh, but it is nighttime, so that means I'm not going to be generating power. But I mean, hey, at least we know. And yep, we did get ourselves our blazing crystals. So let's yoink that baby and go to sleep. But now with that, I just need to convert the rest of these guys into my blazing crystals. They already go well fast enough. And actually, I'm pretty sure I can use my time one to speed this thing up. And then, yeah, now it's super duper fast because the only thing that's slowing this thing down is the energy transfer rate. The higher tier we go, the faster that it's able to transfer its energy. And so that's why we're able to do that. After this, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I should have enough for me to be able to get the blazing. And I'm pretty sure that I don't need the hardened capacitor for this. I just need the blazing crystals and a normal large capacitor. So I don't need to keep making previous ones to be able to get the next ones. So that's convenient. After this, it's really just the same with a lot of this stuff. Next one would just be diamond, which I'm pretty sure I have in abundance because, yeah, I have a lot of diamond. So let's see, how fast does this one go? Because I might actually be able to get away with not upgrading this thing for a little bit because, yeah, there we go. Actually, that was pretty fast. Wait, hang on. If I go to emerald, which is the next one after this, because for the diamond, we convert that, we get niotic. With the emerald, we convert that. That's going to take 1,000,000. Okay, well, there we go. Now we got ourselves spirited. So there's a possibility then that my energy from up here is starting to get to the point where it's going to have a hard time keeping up. Because up here, if we go all the way up, we'll find my solar panels. That definitely looks like it got dented a little bit. I won't be able to see them both at the same time, but that's definitely something to consider since I'm pretty sure each of those generate only 2,000. Yeah, about 2,000 FE a tick. So that's 3 times that. So I'm generating about 6,000 FE. Well, either way, we've gotten those guys already and raring to go. So really, it would just be me upgrading those guys. That way I could then eventually get to nitro since it's all really just the same. It's just that, you know, with the I'm pretty sure it's niotic and onward. It doesn't make me two. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. We just upgrade to the next capacitors and then we go up in the ranks. The final thing we would need though is nitro crystals. Now, nitro crystals, it makes me quite a bit of them, but it takes 20 million FE a tick. Or not FE a tick, it takes 20 million FE to generate. At my current capacity of energy, since I'm only making 6,000 a tick, and this thing holds about 1 million, I would need about 20 of these batteries if I wanted that thing to be full. Or I could just combine them into make 1 mega battery. Actually, I forgot I can do that. Okay, I think I will actually upgrade this thing.
20 minutes later.
All right, and there we go. Now we got ourselves 20 million FE inside of this one massive battery. It's actually pretty cool. And I also discovered I can speed up my generation with my time wand that I got in the last video. So, you know, that's very neat. Alrighty, so now we should have pretty much everything we would need to assemble the nitro crystal. Except for one thing. Well, actually, technically, it's 2 things. One is that we're gonna need a block of the blazing crystal, which took in itself quite a bit of power. Then we're gonna need 2 redstone blocks. You know, that's mostly not hard. Then we're gonna need a nether star. I'm pretty sure I do not have I have a nether star. Oh, well, I guess we have everything then. So now with 1 nether star, a block of blazing crystal, and 2 redstone, we can go ahead and put that into there. And then eventually, we will get all 20 million FE inside of this thing.
Eventually.
Well, here it is though. Our 16 nitro crystals, the final thing on this list. So now we have everything we would need to be able to start making different machines at different tiers and different sources of power. I might actually pursue that, but this still takes a lot of power. And even if I wanted to pursue making myself a better source of power, like if I wanted to get this thermo generator, these things can pump out a lot of power, but at the end of the day, if I wanted to get myself it at the nitro level, I'd still need to make all sorts of the other ones before, because I need to upgrade from spirited, which means I'd need a lot of that, from nitro, which means I need a lot of that. It's just a lot of hassle. So, is there an easier way to get these now that we have them? Yes. The alternate way for us to get these is with mystical agriculture. I can do that with all of these. They all come with their own seeds that I can make, and they're not too difficult, but I'm gonna need Imperium, Supremium, and Insanium if I want to do this. Fortunately though, in the last video, while I was doing all of my shenanigans there, I'm not confident that people are gonna actually watch that one, because I found out that my audio ended up being really terrible. Fortunately, I managed to fix that, I think. So hopefully everything should be fine. But that aside, we do have ourselves a crap ton of Inferium, and we're currently maxed out. So here's a netherite stacking upgrade for this. And now this can hold a lot more, and I could keep giving it even more stacking upgrades. That way I can hold more Inferium. That's great. I just need to get myself up to Supremium. For those of you who don't know how this process works, let me enlighten you. I have this Inferium crystal that I just ran out of that'll allow me to upgrade it, the Inferium, into Prudentium. I then need a Prudentium crystal, so that way I can then upgrade this to Tertium. Then we have the Tertium, so that way we can then upgrade ourselves to our Imperium. This is gonna be the basic start one for, let's see, how many of these guys are going to take it? So that one's a tier 4. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and add these to the recipe. Okay, so 2 of these need this tier 4 one that I have here. 2 of them need tier 5, which will be the one that we don't have yet. And then the nitro crystal will be the tier 6 Insanium. This is gonna be a bit of a process, but yeah, it's pretty much just more of this. I'm pretty sure I do have a crystal for the Imperium, yeah. I just don't have one for the Supremium yet. Now I just need to keep doing that whole process to get us up, so that way we can get ourselves the Supremium crystal as well, and then we'll be able to get our Insanium, and then we should have all this. It's really just grindy stuff. Took me long enough, but I finally managed to get everything we need. Oh my gosh. So in total, I was gonna need 4 Insanium, 8 Supremium, and 8 Imperium. Overall, this is an absolute monstrous amount of Inferium. So I may have gotten a little bit crazy on expanding the farm and adding more of these guys, so that way I could start making these even faster. And yeah, fortunately it does look like it's working, but man, this was a lot. So what we now need to do is we just need to put these prosperity seeds here in the middle. Then we can go ahead and take energized seeds, or well, energized steel. One of those was meant to go elsewhere, but you know what, it's fine. It doesn't matter exactly where they go, as long as they are present on here. We'll then get a little bit of a particle show, and behold the power we are about to get ourselves, our energized steel seeds. Then after that, you're not gonna believe this, I forgot to make the blazing crystals. I guess it's a good thing that that doesn't take very long, since it's on the low end of things. So then we can just go ahead and put this one in here as well. And now we're going to get ourselves, oh, so much of this. There we go. Now we got ourselves the blazing seeds. Now, the rest of this is pretty much the same. It's just now we're going to start moving up in tiers. So the rest of these ones are going to use the Supremium essence, which I was finally able to get, and make myself the Supremium crystal. And I was also able to make the unlimited crystal. So now I won't need to keep making crystals at every freaking turn. But this does mean that, yes, I made 4 more Insanium before, meaning I essentially had to do all this twice. This wasn't fun. So I should just need to go ahead and break this one. We can go ahead and make this energized. That is going to start causing problems. I should probably make the drawers first.
1 minute later.
All right, well, I managed to get all the drawers with all the seeds, and I figured I'm just gonna place them all through here anyway, so there's no need for me to really show that. However, the nitro crystal one isn't actually growing. The others are growing just fine. This one isn't. Requires nitro crystal crux. Oh, right. I remember this now. Insanium level seeds require a crux below them to grow. Well, I mean, fortunately, it does look like I have enough nitro crystals on their own for me to be able to get it. So, I mean, that's That's fine. So yeah, we can go ahead and make those. That still leaves me with some left over. I just need to get the insanium that I'd need for this. Well, that's not too inconvenient.
Later.
Okay, so that actually didn't take me very long. So there we go. Now we got ourselves our nitro crystal crux. So I should be able to just take this thing out. That's gonna end up going into there. You know what? We're gonna put some bread here for the moment. That way that blocks this thing from being useful. This is Imperium farmland, so this is gonna be a little bit unfortunate. Oh, but this is on top of one of my growth crystals. So, I mean, I guess this would also be useful for that. I don't know if these work together or not, but you know what? Hey, we're just gonna go with it, and we're gonna say that it's fine. So we can go ahead and plow that there, put this down, and there we go. It's beginning to grow. Okay, wait, take out the bread, take out the bread. Okay, so then that should give us our nitro crystal essence. There we go. So now we've managed to basically automate all of these crystals without the use of, well, mostly without the use of power. I mean, we do technically have the crystal growth resonators here, but hey, you know what? It's mostly fine. Other than that, though, there is still one last thing that we are going to want: the wireless power. Because half of this has pretty much just been gardening for Powah, but it hasn't actually been directly Powahing things. We need Powah power. So for us to get wireless power, we're gonna need this Ender Gate, but we're also gonna need this Ender Cell to connect it to, both of which are gonna use nitro crystals. And apparently I'm also gonna need obsidian. Ooh, a little short on that. All right, so I got all the obsidian that I should need for this. We're also gonna need this Ender Core, though. We're gonna need 2 of those. They're not too hard to get. We just need to get this basic capacitor and then break that down into our tiny capacitors. I'm also gonna need to grab myself 2 dielectric casings. And then the easiest thing of all is just 2 Eyes of Ender. So now we can just go ahead and take these over to possibly the last time I'm gonna say that today. And then we got ourselves our Ender Core. So then with the Ender Core, we can go ahead and make ourselves our Ender Cell Nitro. That is one component that we're gonna need for this. The next component is the Ender Gate itself. For us to get that, we're gonna need the obsidian, the Ender Core, and also Ender cables, or no, energy cables. Now, these cables can be upgraded from previous tiers, or we can go for everything that I already have right now, and it'll be much easier. Plus, it would save me a little bit on some resources, so we can just go ahead and then make ourselves all of this. There we go. We got ourselves our Ender cables, which have the maximum amount of transfer rate you can get in this mod. And then we can take some of those and turn them into our Ender gates. Now, with this, I will be able to then make myself 8 more of these. But for right now, these 4 will do for purposes that we're gonna have today. So, well, actually, purposes we're gonna have in the future, because I don't really have much purposes outside of that. But either way, now that we have our Ender Cell, what we can go ahead and do is we can just take this baby right up to here. So then after that, there's one more thing that I needed that I just remembered. It was the battery. Am I able to just use a starter battery? I'm not sure if that would work, but it's worth a shot. So if I go ahead and... Oh, wait, am I out of duct? Gosh dang it. I'm running out of everything. Okay, there we go. Now we got ourselves a starter battery. Can I then put this into here? I could not.
You get the idea.
Now I can go ahead and make myself the nitro battery, which I'm pretty sure now I can stick this thing in here. Ah, I had to shift click it. Okay, so there we go. Now this thing has a power buffer. It can hold 2 billion. But there we go. Now we got ourselves our Ender gates all ready and ready to go, because these guys will be configured to this, because if I put this here, we can go ahead and put that one down. You can see that this is now connected to my network, because these all operate on these different channels. This thing is on channel 1, and it's going to be able to hold a lot of power. And these things will be able to output and input a lot of power as well. Unfortunately, it looks like me having placed this one down has given it NBT data, and now I'm unable to leave them stacked. Well, only one thing left to do. It's to put all of them down. That way they'll be stacked forever. Anyways, though, there we go. Now we've got ourselves a way to wirelessly transfer power much easier and realistically a better storage. I should probably just swap these. Like, this thing's already a better battery. It can operate as such. Because, yeah, I can have power going in from here. It can be taken out of there. And yeah, the max input and output is 2 million. Yeah, no, this is just a better battery. Sorry, integrated dynamics battery, but you're just gone. Like, huh. Okay, well, that worked out in another way that I wasn't expecting, but hey, you know what? It's fine. So after that, pretty much that's everything that I needed power for. I could go for a Powah generator. Do I have time for that? I have a little time, and it's like most of the stuff, it's not too complex. It's just gonna be more being grindy with the recipes being rounded up, because this is all a bunch of stuff that we've already done, and then we just combine it all into different things. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make myself this thermal generator. You all see the recipes. It's mostly just stuff that we've all already done. Though at worst, we just need to get ourselves this thermal plate on screen if anybody really cares, but it's like, it's not hard.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I should have pretty much everything now. So we can just go ahead and make ourselves these last bits. Oh yes. And then watch as we get ourselves the thermo generator nitro. I did need to make a bit more crystals, but that is fine. So now that we have this baby, here's what I'm gonna do. You could just put this thing down here, have water pumping into it, and have a heat source underneath it, and you would get pretty far. However, the higher the heat source, the better the results. So I went painstakingly to find myself some soul lava, which was in the other. It was just a pain for me to find in the other. And why can't I? Oh, how interesting. I can't place the stone there. This might not work out very well, but let's see. How much power am I actually generating right now? I'm at 900%, 18,000 FE a tick. That is still way better than all of my solar panels up there. So you know what? I will give it that. I will give it that. So we can just go ahead and then place our gate on top of this. That should then start taking the power out of this baby, and there we go. Now we've got ourselves that new power source. Wait, hang on. If I try it like this, okay, well, and now I'm stuck in here. I'm stuck. No, wait, hang on. I'm actually stuck. Wait, okay. Oh, I'm out. Oh my gosh. And I accidentally pulled from up there. Okay, well, could work because it took a little longer. Dang it, it flows so fast. I need to be speedy. Speedy Gonzalez! I did it. Oh, I did it. Okay, so there we go. We've gotten ourselves a far superior source of power than all my solar panels combined, and it's gonna be constantly generating with or without the need for stuff up here. Or, well, the sunlight, that's what I meant to say, but you know what? I don't care for grammar anymore right now. I'm just glad that we finally managed to do all this. So did you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last All the Mods 11 video where we got into just dire things for time crystals. Bye!